When we think of the 1970s, few sounds are as instantly recognizable as the hypnotic beats of disco. And no voice embodied that era more completely than Donna Summer. She wasn't just a singer, she was the queen of disco, a woman whose presence could ignite a dance floor from New York to Tokyo. Her career was a string of hits, her voice a force of nature, and her image unforgettable. Yet behind the strobe lights and platinum records lay a story of personal pain, heavy burdens, and a life marked by struggles that even fame couldn't erase. Donna Adrienne Gaines was born on December 31st, 1948, in Boston, Massachusetts, the third of 7 children in a devout Christian family. Her father worked as a butcher, and her mother raised the children while nurturing their musical gifts. Growing up, Donna found her first stage in church. She sang in the choir with a voice so commanding that even as a child, she silenced congregations. But her childhood wasn't without scars. Later in life, she would reveal that she had endured abuse when she was young, leaving her with psychological wounds she carried into adulthood. In her teenage years, Donna's world began to expand beyond the pews of her local church. She became fascinated with rock music, idolizing groups like the Beatles, and dreamed of performing for audiences larger than Sunday congregations. At 18, her life changed dramatically when she auditioned for the European production of the musical Hair. The show took her all the way to Munich, Germany. It was there, far from home, that Donna discovered not just her independence, but her first real taste of the entertainment world. She married Austrian actor Helmut Summer, adopting a version of his surname for her stage name, Summer, a name that would soon become legendary. In Germany, she recorded music with local bands, slowly developing her style. But her big break came when she met Italian producer Giorgio Moroder and British songwriter Pete Bellotte. Together, they began experimenting with sounds that fused soul, electronic beats, and hypnotic rhythms. The result was unlike anything the world had heard before. In 1975, their single, Love to Love You Baby, exploded onto the charts. With its breathy, seductive vocals and extended dance mix, the song was both revolutionary and controversial. Radio stations debated whether it was too provocative, but clubs couldn't get enough. Donna Summer had arrived. Over the next few years, Donna became unstoppable. With hits like I Feel Love, Last Dance, Hot Stuff, and Bad Girls, she not only dominated the charts, but redefined music. I Feel Love, in particular, with its pulsing electronic beats, is now regarded as one of the most influential tracks in modern music history. A blueprint for techno, house, and electronic dance decades later. Donna wasn't just following trends, she was creating them. By the late 1970s, she was crowned the Queen of Disco. Her glamorous image, sparkling gowns, larger-than-life hair, and captivating stage presence made her a global icon. She sold millions of records, won awards, and became the face of an entire cultural movement. But with all the fame came pressure. The more her star rose, the more the industry demanded of her. And though the world saw a confident superstar, Donna herself often felt trapped in an image she didn't fully control. As the disco craze reached its fever pitch in the late 1970s, Donna Summer stood at the very center. Her voice filled nightclubs around the world, and her records sold in the millions. But while audiences danced to her songs, Donna was struggling with the cost of being a superstar. Her music was celebrated for its sensuality, yet that very image caused her great personal turmoil. Growing up in a religious household, she often felt conflicted about the highly sexualized persona her record label pushed onto her. The 17-minute version of Love to Love You Baby made her both famous and uncomfortable. Critics accused her of being too provocative, and while she played the role of the disco temptress on stage, off-stage she was haunted by feelings of guilt and disconnection. Friends recalled that she sometimes viewed her success as a double-edged sword. Fame gave her everything she had dreamed of, but it also took pieces of her peace of mind. By the early 1980s, the so-called disco backlash hit hard. Radio stations declared, "Disco is dead," and the very genre that made Donna a household name was suddenly out of fashion. Many artists faded away during that time, but Donna fought to adapt. She shifted toward pop and R&B, and in 1983, she scored a major comeback with She Works Hard for the Money. The song became an anthem for working women, proving that Donna was more than just disco. She was a versatile artist capable of reinvention. Still, she never again reached the unstoppable dominance she held in the late 70s. Behind the scenes, Donna was also enduring personal hardships. Her marriage to Helmut Summer ended in divorce, and though she later found lasting love with singer Bruce Sudano, her private life was often overshadowed by public scrutiny. At times, she felt exploited by the industry, her image controlled by executives, her worth measured in record sales rather than her humanity. This contributed to struggles with depression and the heavy toll of fame. Like many stars of her era, she turned to medication and at times felt consumed by the very lifestyle she had once dreamed of. Another painful chapter in her story came in the early 1980s, when she made controversial remarks that angered many in the LGBTQ+ community, one of her strongest fan bases. Though she denied the claims that she condemned gay people, the backlash was severe, and for a time she was shunned by audiences that had once celebrated her most passionately. Whether misunderstood or misrepresented, the episode left Donna deeply hurt. She was a devout Christian, but she also cherished her fans, and being accused of turning against them left a scar that followed her for years. Despite the struggles, Donna kept creating. She continued to release albums, perform concerts, and maintain her presence in the music industry. Yet by the 1990s and 2000s, she had largely stepped back from the relentless spotlight. She focused more on her faith, her family, and living quietly. Unlike some of her peers, she didn't chase relevance at all costs. Instead, she preserved her dignity, content to let her music speak for itself. Still, a quiet tragedy lingered. She was a woman who had given the world unforgettable music, but never fully escaped the weight of its demands. In her later years, Donna Summer lived a relatively private life in Florida with her husband Bruce Sudano. She remained active in music, occasionally touring, recording, and even winning a Grammy in the late 1990s for Best Dance Recording. Yet, she was no longer the disco queen dominating every chart. To those who knew her personally, this stage of life brought her peace. Time with her daughters, painting, and focusing on spirituality. But fate had one final tragedy in store. Donna began to experience health issues in the late 2000s. She was eventually diagnosed with lung cancer, despite not being a smoker. Some close to her believed that the illness might have been connected to the toxic dust she inhaled while living in New York City during the 9/11 terrorist attacks. Donna herself was said to have feared that the aftermath of that event contributed to her decline. Whether or not that was the cause, the disease progressed quietly, away from the public eye. She continued to work on music privately, but only those closest to her knew how serious her condition had become. On May 17, 2012, Donna Summer died at her home in Naples, Florida, at the age of 63. News of her death shocked the music world. To fans, she had always been the vibrant, glamorous queen whose voice electrified dance floors. Few knew that she was even ill, and the suddenness of her passing made the loss all the more painful. Tributes poured in from artists across generations. Beyoncé called her an inspiration, while Elton John praised her as one of the greatest voices of our time. Her funeral was private, attended by family and close friends, but the grief extended worldwide. Donna's death marked the end of an era, yet her legacy continues to echo through modern music. Songs like I Feel Love laid the foundation for electronic dance music, influencing artists from Madonna to Daft Punk. She won 5 Grammy Awards, sold more than 130 million records worldwide, and in 2013, she was posthumously inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Beyond the accolades, her impact lies in how she opened doors for women in music, for Black artists, and for anyone who dared to be bold in sound and style. But the tragedy of Donna Summer is more than her early death. It is the story of a woman who gave so much of herself to the world, yet often struggled to reconcile her private self with her public persona. It is the heartbreak of a talent so immense that it sometimes consumed the person behind it. And it is the reminder that even icons, those who seem larger than life, carry scars, doubts, and burdens invisible to the audience. At 63, Donna's life ended far too soon, but her music, her influence, and her voice live on. Every time a DJ spins Last Dance or Hot Stuff, every time a club erupts to I Feel Love, Donna is there, eternal, her presence pulsing through the rhythm. She once said, I sing to the hearts of people, not to their heads. And indeed, that is where she remains, not just as the queen of disco, but as a reminder of both the joy and the tragedy that come with greatness.